evening, I'm Mary Nightingale. This is London Tonight. First, a woman who went berserk in a Kent job centre after arming herself with 4 knives and 5 screwdrivers was sent to Broadmoor today. Tonight, the leader of a civil service union warned that security must be tightened or next time someone could die. Christopher Peacock reports.
He went into a job centre at Bexley Heath and found himself the victim of a crazed attack when a woman plunged a knife into his head. Today, Simon Bridge relived his ordeal when he heard she'd been committed to Broadmoor indefinitely.
And I tried to actually pull it out, but I pulled it the wrong way. And that's when I felt like the blood and I realised I had something in my head that I couldn't get out myself.
28-year-old Pearlie Nathan had gone to the job centre armed with 4 knives and 5 screwdrivers, intending to cause great harm. The prosecution said the reason would never be known because she was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. There was pandemonium inside the Kent job centre. It was full at the time. Women and children screamed and scattered as Pearlie Nathan indiscriminately lashed out with knives and screwdrivers at whomever got in her way. The case highlights concern at the risks faced by staff who work at job centres. Security grills were removed 8 years ago in favour of friendly, open-plan centres, but union leaders warn it's not on. They plan a strike next week, demanding new security measures to give workers greater protection.
We've had lumberjacks, axes, we've had computer screens being ripped off counters and thrown at staff. That's the risk that we face.
Simon is now trying to get fit again after receiving counselling to help him through the trauma. But he says he will never forget what happened.
I always want to know who's in front of me and who's around me. Like if I don't know someone that's coming at me, then that makes me nervous.
The Recorder of London, Sir Lawrence Verney, told Pearlie Nathan he was committing her to Broadmoor Psychiatric Hospital for an indefinite period. He said that she was clearly suffering from a serious mental illness and was a danger not only to herself but also to the public. At the Old Bailey, this is Christopher Peacock for London Tonight.
The career of one of the Queen's police bodyguards is in ruins tonight after he was found guilty of a road rage attack on a woman in East London. Constable Stephen Dunstan slammed a car door into the woman's arm after their vehicles collided. Dunstan, a member of the Royal Protection Squad for 15 years, was convicted of assault. He must also pay his victim £500 compensation. A second Australian has been charged in connection with the murder of Londoner Brian Hagland at Bondi Beach. Sean Cushman, in the grey suit, didn't enter a plea to the charge of being an accessory. While that was happening in Australia, a plane was arriving at Heathrow with Mr Hagland's body on board, accompanied by his fiancée Connie Casey. She was with him when he was beaten to death 11 days ago. Another Australian is already in custody, charged with murder. A lorry crashed on the elevated slip road of the Westway today and finished up balanced in mid-air above a gypsy site. Traffic right across West London was paralysed for 6 hours after the accident in Shepherd's Bush. Richard Gaisford reports.
Perilously close to falling off the flyover, the lorry that not only closed one of London's busiest routes, but threatened the lives of those that live below it when it shed its cargo of newsprint right on top of them. The road it was on, the M41, a short, fast stretch of motorway linked to the A40. The truck crashed in a notorious S-bend, the reason not fully clear. Underneath, a council-run gypsy site. It's been there 15 years. 15 years too long for those who live there. They want to be moved and say it's just luck that no one was killed today. Up until last Sunday, there was a caravan parked here with a young family living inside. Now, where their home once stood, 3-ton rolls of paper are. They came crashing down from the road above. As well as the heavy cargo, crash barriers and concrete rained down from the sky. Amazingly, damage was light and no one was injured. Up until today, the camp residents thought pollution was the biggest risk to their lives. Now they're not so sure.
There's some holes in the back of the caravan where stones, concrete has gone through it. And I think more or less that the family that lives in the caravan, the woman and a couple of kids are in shock. It's not suitable down here. It's dangerous being under the flyover, and this is the proof of it.
The lorry's driver escaped unhurt from his cab, and investigations now begun. Safety officials will want to know why crash barriers broke and how rolls of paper came loose so quickly, turning from harmless newsprint to missiles that threatened flimsy caravans parked right below. By the Westway, this is Richard Gaisford for London Tonight.
And finally, 2 city stockbrokers have beaten the clock to make a transatlantic journey from London Bridge over here to London Bridge over there. The charity trip started at London Bridge on the Thames And finished at the old London Bridge, now at Lake Havasu in Arizona. The bridge was dismantled and shipped across the Atlantic exactly 25 years ago. It was bought from the government by an American millionaire for $1 million. The two stockbrokers, Archie Struthers and William Tovey from Battersea, eventually made it from bridge to bridge in 22 hours and 15 minutes, raising £2,000 for the St John's Ambulance in the process. And that's all from us. No football results from tonight's Coca-Cola Cup matches. They're all in Carlton Sport, which is coming up next with Bob Wilson. And we're back, of course, with bulletins in GMTV tomorrow and London Tonight at 6:30. Good night.